make your life harder than it has to be, please. You're working against the wind, but not understanding that your image is part of the message. Now, before we deep dive, what do I mean by the message? It could be a multitude of things. It could be that you are a thought leader, that you are a business owner, that you are an expert, and you are relaying a message, a big upfront facing message. But also, even if you aren't that, we all have a message or messages that we want to relay to the world. Whether that's, I'm open and ready for love, or I'm open and ready to make more money, or I am confident and I want to be around other confident people. There's a message that is always carried with you throughout your movement on this planet. And that message can change. But no matter what time or period of life that you are in, you need to be making sure your image aligns with that message. Or you are working harder than you have to because you are working against the grain and you don't know if it's going to work. Let's get into it. So, have you ever been to a concert? I'm thinking about like your favorite concert you've ever been to, your favorite show, etc. One thing that I bet stood out from the other experiences based on how you grade this concert and performance, the visuals. Now, the visuals in the context of the concert is the stage, is the set, the outfits, the colors, anything that visually is catching your eye. It worked in alignment with what you were hearing because you were already sold on the music, right? Like that's what brought you to the concert. You already believed in it. It was already great. But what heightened that experience for you was what you were viewing and how they worked together in tandem. And thus that message, whatever it was, whether it was a powerful pop message from Sabrina Carpenter or it was a dramatic play, whatever it is, it does not matter. No matter what the message was, if the visual and the audio come together, if the visual and the message come together, then everything about that experience is now heightened and now it sticks with you longer. Wouldn't you want to be doing that instead of doing what you're doing right now? Which is working really hard and being confused as to why you are not where you want to be, why you are not attracting what you want or who it is you want, right? Instead of working hard and feeling tired, like I keep getting these kind of women talking to me, I keep getting these kind of men talking to me. Your message is off, probably. The message is off, right? And how's the message off? Not by what you're saying. Maybe that's okay. Maybe you've worked with someone on that. Maybe you've got that part together. Maybe you've got game. Maybe you're charismatic. But the image is not in line. All right. Now, I want us to kind of think about really quickly a couple of examples. I have quickly in my mind a few people who come to mind when I think about image and the message coming together in tandem. Now, Kendrick Lamar is a great example. Okay, but we've already talked about Kendrick. Beyonce, another great example, right? When you go to a Beyonce concert, you are not just getting the amazing album you just listened to and memorized for the past 6 months. You are also getting a new heightened visual experience that now makes you feel like you are embedded into the tracks of this playlist. That's what we want, that whatever we are giving outwardly, it helps me say, I want you to see me as an expert, even though I'm young and I'm the youngest person on this team. We want that. Or we want it to say, I am ready to finally start attracting confident and fit men who are ready to settle down and get married because they're serious about life. Like, you want that to be given off because that's already what you say you want in your mind, potentially in your heart. But it's what you're saying definitely in your mind because you wrote it down. It's on the vision board, right? It's on the goals. This is what I want. But now you need this, the outer, to align so that the people that you are literally crossing paths with, whether deeply, like you have real relationships with them or not, and most likely it's not deep, right? Those people can be affected and understand what your truth or what your story or what your message is. Because if they cannot read that quickly, then they're already assuming something else, right? So think about you walking down the street. I know it's kind of weird now because I think post-COVID, most people are not like hanging out outside as much, but whatever. You're walking down the street. One thing I used to love doing people watching and coming up with stories, because we can come up with stories based on what people are giving us by the way that someone is wearing their hat, or what kind of colors they're wearing, or the way that they're strutting, or anything about them. We had enough context to believe that we knew about them. We do that every single day. Now, in that instance that I'm telling you, that's a game, right? Like, that's a game that you might be out with your friend, just hanging out, like, let's start people watching, like, ooh, like, but we do that. That's a part of our means of survival, and it has been forever. We need to know who we think is a threat, who we think is attractive, who we think would be a great friend. Like, we need to be able to tell that quickly, and we do. You don't even realize that that's how fast you're doing it. So in that instance, you have to understand that everyone else is doing it. So now you are now part of the people watching in other people's story. Now, if they see you and they are, let's say, this hot, attractive guy that's finally ready to settle down, and they see you looking unapproachable and dusty, it hasn't even crossed in their mind that, hey, this is someone I should attract, like I should approach. You are just literally like, I think her story is X, Y, and Z, and it's over. You see how the two are not coming together? Pause. Now, if we do that in the real world, we are always people watching subconsciously or consciously, right? Very rarely consciously with friends, but always and forever subconsciously are we doing that. Why do you think you are exempt from that truth, right? It is no longer be okay for you to use the excuse of, well, I'm just not stylish, or I don't know what to do, or I don't know how to groom myself. No. That's not enough. That's not enough. You don't get to just say, oh, it's just because I don't know. If that's going to be the truth, then just accept where you are now and don't ask for more, and don't complain about not getting what you want. If you aren't willing to take the proper steps, aka addressing this image portion of your message to get what you want. Are you okay with that? If you're okay with that, that's fine. You may now exit stage left. But if you're not okay with that, then we need to be real about how can we address this? How can we make sure that there's no disconnect between my visual and what I say I want, okay? As a personal stylist, and I have been for a decade, I have worked with clients on this 1,000,001 times, okay? And it is something that I believe many people are blind to. It is a blind spot for a lot of people. They know how to write down what they want on paper, but they don't know how to make their image attract with that. Obviously, I'm here to help. You can reach out for one-on-one help. But the first thing I want you to be thinking about and doing is, do I think, if I were to look at myself as an outsider, do I think that my visual on the outside aligns with what I say I want? And if it doesn't, what can I do to get myself closer instead of thinking that I can never have it? Hope that helps. Until next time, toodles. But I want to chat with you all. Comment some things below. Let's chat. Tell me what's coming into mind. If you have any other examples of people who you think do a really good job of aligning their visuals and their message, let's share it. Let's get into it. Until next time, toodles. So Kendrick Lamar and Sarah Jakes Roberts, I think, are two really good examples. Beyonce is another one. Sabrina Carpenter is another one, who understand that the packaging impacts the message, right? These artists are people who understand that the packaging affects and impacts the message. And if we don't want there to be any disconnect, if we don't want there to be any factors that kind of pull people away from that message that you really want them to leave with or be impacted by, then we've got to know that we've got to address the visual. And the visuals are not hard. We are not, again, talking about surgery. I think right now the people are obsessed with surgeries. And I need us to calm down a little bit. How have we gone to surgeries when we haven't even discussed grooming is a thing? It's really just the grooming. I mean, birds do it. People who live out in the middle of nowhere do it. Why can't we understand that grooming is going to change the game? How you do your hair. Have you ever heard of the hair theory? Okay. How we do our hair. How we dress. Do the clothes like you back? Do the outfits like you back? Does the hair like you back? All of these are components to your message. But I know that you think you're so philosophical and deep and educated and you're just so distinct, right? You're just so unique that you don't have to worry about the visuals. No, it applies to you too. It applies to you too, because you want to not have to work as hard as you could be. You want it to come easier. right? If I think about it in nature, if I'm looking for certain results or to get certain fruits, I need to set certain attractors. I don't like that one. So if you care about the message or what you want as much as you say you do, remember to care about the packaging, care about the look, the image. It will only help you and not hurt. I hope that helped. Toodles. Now, before you leave, don't forget, I want us to be chatting below. Tell me what you think. Tell me who you think are some other great examples of people who get it when it comes to visuals and the message. Or tell me if you think there's something that I missed or something that you would have loved to talk about or a question for the next video. Hope that helped. Until next time, toodles.